Hello everyone, it is a beautiful day here in Provo. I think I start that way a lot, but it is, it's gorgeous outside. And last weekend was officially the first day of fall, September 22nd. Fall is my favorite season, and in here in Provo we have four different distinct seasons. And so we have entered my favorite season of the year. I wore my scarf today in honor of it officially being fall. Coco, thanks for joining. So I hope all of you love fall as much as I do. Julie Weiss, thanks for joining. I love everything about it. I love how it is cool and there's a breeze. Leah, hi. Hershey, thanks for joining. Lucy, thanks for joining. Oh, Colorado, Leah, that's cool. We just got back from Iceland last week. It was amazing. And Tony, good morning. I know I love fall too, it's the best. Iceland was amazing. It was our success trip, and we just had so much fun with all of you, our leaders who were there. Hi, Christy. We had so much fun seeing beautiful Iceland. And Julie, I know it was amazing. Julie and her husband were there, and many of Julie's team was there. Hi, Letty. Hi, Valerie. We saw waterfalls. We walked underneath and behind the waterfalls. There was one set of waterfalls that there was like almost 240 stairs to the top, and we had like 10 minutes before the bus was leaving. I literally ran up 240 stairs. I thought I was gonna pass out, but I did it. Ran back down. I made it on the bus, didn't miss the bus. We went to this beautiful black sand beach. We saw geysers. We saw, there were so many things to see, whale watching trips. Hi, good morning, Helen. Let's see, the Blue Lagoon. Oh my gosh, the Blue Lagoon was amazing. Hi, Cheryl. The Blue Lagoon literally is a water that has been heated. Hi, Maria. Hi, Wynn. Hi, James. Water that's been heated, volcanic, like, you know, the magma below the surface heats it and brings it up. Hi, Denise and Regina. Anyways, as it comes up, it is, Julie saying it's very warm and blue. It was, it brings up the silica with it. Hi, Jojo. Hi, Caitlin. And hi, Cindy. Cindy DeMay, beautiful Cindy. And anyways, it causes this gorgeous blue color, and it's just, everything about Iceland was amazing. So, hi Terrell, Antoine, and Rachel Seat in the house, everyone. Rachel, our own, everything digital and marketing. Rachel just keeps us safe and keeps us going. Good morning, Helen, Vazzy, Eileen, Yeet, and Win. Oh, thanks for saying hello right back, Win. So, anyways, loved Iceland. I got so excited. That's how excited I got about it. Hi, Candace, Tissue, Marissa, McCallion. All of your last names are a little hard. Katrina, hi, good morning. And Moran, Charlene. Oh, it's just so fun. It's just fun to see everyone joining. Well, next success trip, Sharika, Catherine, is in South Africa. Each one of these success trips are so amazing. Hi, Emma Cuesta. So join us. We did AgeLOC LumiSpa demos while we were in Iceland, and doing these demos, I learned some really cool tricks. I mean, every time you're doing it, you kind of things come easier, and you learn what is working, what isn't working. And so I thought today, in honor of those demos that we did in Iceland with the LumiSpa, I would share some of those learnings with you, some of the tips that we saw were working well, and some of the things that to avoid. And so when doing a demo, I am mean. I will only do half of the face. In fact, I think in all of my years here at Nu Skin, I've never given in and done the other half of the face, because that's the whole point. We want it to feel terrible on the other half of the face so that the whole rest of the day it is just driving in how amazing the treated side feels and how it looks different. And so tip number 1 is normal. I always give this tip, only do half of the face. There's a few steps when you're doing the demo. First of all, we did not have any little headbands or little safety pins, and I wished we would have had that. And so that's my first tip I'm going to share with you. When doing a demo, you can go to Walmart, you can go to super cheap, you can buy a little bundle of like a 10-pack for just a couple of bucks. Get some of those little cheap headbands to just hold the hair back out of the way. The reason I wished I would have done that is when you're doing a demo, it's easy for the wispy little hairs to get in, or just, you know, a little piece like this kind of gets in, and then all of a sudden it's gummed up and you're trying to pick it out and their hair's now dirty. So just a couple of bobby pins or a little headband would be a tip that I would recommend, something I wished I would have had when we were doing the demos in Iceland. And tip number 2, after you pulled the hair back, you want to moisten the skin. It doesn't just, or dampen the skin. It doesn't have to be wet, doesn't have to be dripping, but it is really helpful if the skin is damp before you apply the product. Now, we had spray bottles of water, and we had these really cool ones that we just got from Amazon that just had this really long, fine spray of water that I loved. However, one of the things that I realized when we were doing these demos in Iceland is that NAPCA Moisture Mist would have worked just as well, and it's our product. So that's tip number 2. I really wish I would have had that NAPCA Moisture Mist to dampen the skin with. So when you're doing the demo, make sure you got the mist, NAPCA Moisture Mist. Probably 2 to 3 sprays on half of the face is going to be enough to dampen it. And then you're ready to apply the cleanser. Now, a couple of things I learned with the cleanser. A, you need a good dollop, like at least, I'm contorting here, at least a quarter size of product for half of the face. That nice dollop is going to give us so it doesn't dry down before we're done. And so that it's moving well on the face as well. Now, one of the things I wished I would have done, and this isn't necessary, this is not a usage instruction, this isn't a rule, but I saw some people who were applying the cleanser onto the treatment surface, and it was keeping it cleaner. Like, I wasn't getting my hands dirty applying it. They weren't getting their hands, you know, with the product that you're then trying to wipe it off your hands before you grab your spa to do the demo on them. And so applying it, I learned, onto the surface, it doesn't give you any better results. It just made it so I wasn't then trying to clean my hands off really quick before I grabbed the spa and turned it on and did the treatment. So it was just, it just made it run smoother. Applying the product to the little circle of the treatment head, the cleanser, applying it there, and then putting it on the skin. And so that was tip number 3 for you, just to make it run smoothly. Once you're doing the treatment, when you're doing it on just half of the face, 2 things. Ask them if they have sensitive skin. If they have sensitive skin, only do 1 minute. So you'll do 30 seconds on this part of the face and then 30 seconds on this part, because we're always doing it on their right side, right? So 30 seconds here, 30 seconds here, and then you're done. If they don't have sensitive skin, what I learned doing these demos is do the full 2 minutes on half of the face. Now, normally that would be too much every morning and every night. You wouldn't want to do that. But for just a one-time demo purpose, you're going to get more results. I was noticing more smoothing happening, more of a textural difference that they could feel on their skin when I did the 2 full minutes. But it's just critical that you ask that they have if they have sensitive skin first, because if they do, that's going to be too much and will cause redness or irritation. And so that's tip number 4 of what I learned while I was doing these demos in Iceland. Do the full 2 minutes to get more results if they don't have sensitive skin. Tip number 5, I really learned a lot doing these demos in Iceland. So tip number 5 was the movement of the device itself. I had 2 strong feelings that I walked away with after doing these demos. A, For newer people, for the guests and the clients who were there for the first time, who, you know, somebody, a leader brought their wife with them, or a leader brought their best friend with them, and this was some of their initial introduction to Nu Skin, keep it simple. Oh, I'm realizing I haven't even thought about looking at your questions. Oops, sorry. But I just saw one coming in. I'll come back to this tip about keep it simple. How can we deal with the hygiene issue if we use the same head on different faces? Ooh, that's a good one. That will be tip number 6. That was Lisa McDebay. Thank you so much for asking that question. I might actually answer it now because I think I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forget to come back and answer it. So, doing demo, back-to-back demos. No, I'm gonna keep this in order. That's gonna be number 6. I don't wanna mess up the flow here. So I was on tip number 5, which was a new person versus an experienced person. Here was what I was seeing. For a new person, if I just kept it simple and I told them just gentle circular movements, then they were like, oh, this is so easy, I can do it. And it was more like, oh, I'm gonna walk away and do this every single morning and night. And that's what you want. If simplicity is gonna make them consistent, do it. Keep it simple, because if they're consistent, if they use the product morning and night every day, they will fall in love with it. They'll see the results. They'll be a loyal consumer of the product. On the flip side of the coin, here's the other thing I was seeing. For you, our leaders who are experienced, you know, for like Julie, when Julie was there, or her team, or other of you leaders who were there, I actually did notice when I was doing upward, outward motions, similar to the motions you do with the galvanic spa, I did notice a slight more lifting action after the demo was done. So you can either keep it simple, so that if it's somebody new, they're more like, you know, I can do this. It's not hard, I'm gonna do this morning, night. Or if you want more of that lifting pop, and especially if it's more of it's a leader, it's an experienced person, you can do those upward, outward motions to get a little bit more of a lifting result that will happen. So, and let's come back to that point number 6. And that was the doing back-to-back demos and how to keep the surface head clean. So we came prepared with, you know, the spray bottles that we could wipe off the leftover cleanser and then spray it and then wipe off the remaining cleanser, and then we had hand sanitizer that we would then put on to thoroughly sanitize it before the next demo. Now that worked well, and the hand sanitizer totally sanitizes it. However, we did, as we were doing demos, we did notice that it wasn't always easy to completely get all of the previous cleanser off. Regardless of whether the previous cleanser was off, it was sanitized because of the hand sanitizer, but just there was a teeny bit of buildup. And so we actually were going and cleansing off. There was a bathroom. And so in between demos, we would quickly run into the bathroom and the sink, we would wash that head off, we'd snap it back on the unit, and we'd come back in. So tip number 6, a learning I wish I would have done, and now going forward I will do. I'll always have 2 units. I'll have one unit that I can do the demo on, and then I can set it aside and have a friend, a coworker, a spare person there who will be designated to then run those units to rinse them off, and then I'll have the backup, the second unit, to immediately start the next demo. So that was a learning for me. A tip I would share with you is having 2 so that you can do a demo, set it aside, have somebody who is designated to go run and clean that off, so that by the time you're done with the next demo, that one is clean and ready to go. It was that little bit of buildup. It felt like it was diminishing some of the results that we were getting, and so being able to completely rinse off that cleanser was helpful. Now, I have done it before where you can get it off completely with a damp cloth or a paper towel, but you just have to try harder. You have to wipe it more. You have to wet it down more often. And in a demo, back-to-back demo scenario like that, you don't have time for that. That was the learning. That was the tip, is that you don't have time for that. And so it was easier to have a spare unit and send someone to rinse that unit off and then immediately start again. So I do recommend when you're doing multiple demos to have the hand sanitizer so that your client feels and knows that it's thoroughly sanitized, regardless of how you're cleansing it or rinsing it. So those were all the major tips. Oh, one more, there was another tip, two more tips actually. I did notice that it was important to completely remove all the excess cleanser. If not, you were getting a little bit of a gumming up and the skin just didn't feel, you didn't get that clean feeling you wanted with the skin. So I made sure to really mist. I'd wipe off any excess, I would mist, and then I'd have a new clean paper towel that I'd wipe off again, and then I would mist up to 2 to 3 times just to make sure I got it all off. After you get it all off, there was one more thing that I was noticing, and that was some people, the majority of women, probably 60 to 70% of women tend to be more on the normal to dry side. And so just ending the demo there, their skin wasn't comfortable with that because their skin needs more hydration than just cleansing. And so I did start using, I had brought 5 spare bottles of pearls, AgeLOC True Face Essence Ultra. And we did start using, you know, 1 pearl after the demo on most of the guests that were there, so that their skin didn't feel too dry after the cleansing treatment. And so I feel like that helped. But oh, and then final tip. Here's the last thing that I noticed, and this one was actually huge. It's going to sound so simple, and you're going to be like, what? That's that big of a tip, Chanel, really? A call come through there, weird. But the tip was let the skin completely dry. After the demo, they immediately want to start feeling and the 2 sides of the face and looking to see the results. But the skin needs to dry down because the untreated side you're comparing it to is dry. You need this to dry so that you're comparing it equally. And what I noticed is when it wasn't very dry, when your skin is a little damp, your fingers aren't sliding across it as easily. So let it dry down so that, and then your fingers are just smoothly gliding over, and then they're like, oh my gosh. I mean, literally there were times where I couldn't quit touching somebody's face because it was so dramatic. One side was, you didn't think it was rough, but compared to the treated side, you're like, wow, this treated side is just like polished glass that feels so smooth. So let it dry down completely. Let others who are around also note the differences of what they're seeing. You are exfoliating those upper layers, and so anytime you're exfoliating the skin, we're physically with the unit and the cleansing pushing off dead layers of skin cells. And anytime you're doing that, your skin is instantly brighter. You get rid of the dull, flat, dehydrated layers of skin, and you're bringing up plumper, more moisturized layers that are more radiant. They shine, they glow better, and also you stimulated the blood flow, you know, taking the waste out of the skin and delivering the nutrients into the skin. So there's a radiance that you see when you're done as well. And let the guests who are around point out some of these benefits they're seeing. If they're seeing lifting, point it out. If you're not, you don't always see lifting every time, that's fine. But you'll see something every time. You'll see lifting, or you'll see brightness and radiance almost every single time. I've never done a demo yet where I haven't seen a dramatic difference in the softness and the texture. I should be careful with the word dramatic, but a notable difference in the softness and the texture of the skin, whether that's on the back of the hand or on the half of the face. So I think those were the big tips of what we were seeing. Really worked well. And oh, Vanessa did a half face demo on your husband's, Jason's face. She said that she really saw the lifting. And what else did you say? Yeah, she agreed with the radiance there. So so cool. I'm just gonna, let's see if I can scroll back here all the way to the beginning to see if I missed questions. Oops, I went too far and it started over. Okay, let's see here. Just bear with me really fast. Oh, somebody said, thank you so much for the compliment. I'm wearing the new LumiSpa, a new LumiSpa shade. Not LumiSpa, Power Lips, a new Power Lip shade in honor of fall. I gotta keep my finger on here so I don't lose the questions, but you can see way too close of my lips. It's this really pretty, like a rusty pink color that it was just perfect. It matched this in my shawl. It matched this little fall, yummy fall color. So anyways, it's a sample bottle and they didn't label it, so I don't know what shade it is. But afterwards I'll find out what the shade is, and then I'll post what shade I'm wearing. So it's one of the new ones that's coming. Hygiene, we answered that question. Oh, Wynn, thanks for asking, can you use it on the neck? We are recommending it for the face only because we haven't tested it on the neck yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be just fine, but we haven't tested it there, so we'll recommend it for the face. Vanessa, you said it's so easy to use that men will love it too. I totally agree. 100% agree with that. Rose is asking about how it will help the pores. Cool thing here. Okay, just bear with me as I keep my finger on the screen here. I guess you can't see my finger. The two surface heads that turn in opposite directions, that is a patented micro oscillating technology that actually is causing a pore pumping action. The cleanser has loosened up the debris and the impurities in your pore, and now we're getting this type of pore pumping action that's pumping out all of those impurities in the pore. So you're getting cleaner, clear pores that are going to appear tighter and less apparent. Oh, Julie, thank you so much. Julie said she definitely saw the smoothness and felt a difference in the texture, especially when using the firm head. So if somebody doesn't have sensitive skin, definitely switch the heads that are on the LumiSpa to the firm one to get even softer results. Great tip, Julie. Lisa is saying, she had a little bit of sensitivity when she used it for the first time. Okay, so the cleanser we're using right now is the combination cleanser. For sensitive skin types, they're going to need an even more gentle option, and woohoo, we'll have one. We will actually have a cleanser for sensitive skin types. So you'll always want to ask before doing a demo if they have sensitive skin. If they do, then you'll want to use the sensitive cleanser. So Silke asked what the results were. Radiance, smoothness, lifting. Lifting isn't one of the claims we're making, but it is something that I'm seeing, this appearance of a little bit of lifting action. So all of those things. Is it available for sale now? Who asked that? Rufina Postalati? Sorry if I said your name totally wrong. I'm so glad you asked that question, because join the business group at 10 o'clock. So in a half hour, 35 minutes, Matt Hall and Jaya Hansen are going to be doing a Facebook Live following this one. So at 10 o'clock to announce, wait, is it 10 o'clock? I'm an hour behind. I'm all messed up. I come from Iceland. That's totally a different time. At 10:30, in just a few minutes, they're going to be doing a Facebook Live that's going to be announcing pricing details, the next chance to purchase, when it's going to be available, just launch plans and all of that. So join us in a few minutes for that. Marissa, I'm so glad you're excited. Thanks for being pumped about the release. Oh, Vivian Fenn, thank you so much. She's talking about using pearls after the LumiSpa. I totally agree with that. Just to give you, for those people who have dry skin, just to have a little bit more softness afterwards. And let's see, I think we're almost through all of the questions here. I think I got them all. If I missed any, I'm so sorry. It wasn't on purpose. I'll come back and try to get them afterwards. Thanks for joining me. I'm so happy to share these tips. For those of you who have tried a demo, share your tips as well. And in the future, feel free to come back and share these tips on this site so that we can all learn from each other and just be getting amazing results in these half-face demos, that we are just getting people excited for what they can see, not only short-term, but long-term. I mean, we're getting pumped right now about these short-term results, but using it every single day consistently, month after month, year after year, wow, the quality of the skin is going to be so much better. So more power to all of you. Share your tips with us. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll talk to you again next week. Bye.